GraniteGrok is continuing to cover the events here at the State House in Concord, New Hampshire. And we are now talking with Grok friend Groen. Thanks for taking a few minutes with GraniteGrok.
You're welcome.
So I'm going to ask you the same question I've been asking everybody else. The process of doing the budget, we're almost to the end at this point. We had a big deficit gap to take care of. Do you think this bill is going to adequately address all of the concerns and a little bit of the kerfuffle that happened up in the gallery earlier this morning?
I think the budget's going to cover most of it. We do have some contingencies in there so that if revenue does increase, there may be some programs that we could touch, but it's primarily if there's revenue increases. We have several bills that are laid on the table that we can bring back that would affect tax cuts and fee reductions for the encouragement of business so that they can create jobs. It's not about creating government jobs, it's about creating private sector jobs.
Well, there's certainly the public unions are outside protesting. A lot of the folks who depend on government are protesting as well. The question is, was there enough money to give everything to everybody?
There was not. We can't go to China and borrow money like the federal government. We can't play with currency values like the federal government. We can't print money like the federal government. And I think we're smarter than just to continue on a deficit spending trail. And the proposed budget that the opposition wanted us to follow would have taken us over the same cliff that the federal government is currently in a free fall on, and we don't want to go there. That's why I'll be voting for this budget.
So do you think that this budget is going to give us a good base to go higher or go lower, or where does this put us overall in context on the timeline?
I'm going to guess that revenues might bounce back a little bit, but I won't be for increasing spending. If there's some few emergency things that we may need to touch, fine, but I won't be looking for increased spending. I'll be looking for increased tax cuts, lowering of fees, so that we can encourage the businesses to come to the state as a business-friendly state for the creation of jobs.
Another question I've been asking, if I was to sum it up in one sentence, I'm looking for your thoughts. If the Democrats took power from individuals and the local governments, condensed it into Concord, and what you folks are doing right now is to take that power and devolve it back to the local governments and especially to the citizens to give them more ability to make more choices for themselves. Do you think that trend's going to continue as we go forward?
I certainly hope so. I'll be voting that way. The Democrats' model was downshifting costs to the localities. Our model is to downshift responsibility, freedom, and opportunity to the localities. We're big believers in local control, and we're doing everything we can to not downshift costs, but to downshift opportunity and freedom and liberty.
Part of what I heard a lot during the campaign was the phrase self-reliance. Are people going to have a hard time understanding what self-reliance is? Because you're saying, responsibility, which means, guys, if you want to do this, you need to take care of it yourself instead of always putting a hand out to the next layer of government up. Is that a true statement?
Yeah, especially for the crowd outside right now. I fielded a lot of phone calls on this, and my answer to them is that I rely on the family first. I rely on the church and other private charitable organizations second, and government is always the last resort, is the measure of last resort. Many of the speeches you've heard in the last 2 days are people that government is their first resort. And unfortunately, it's taking other people's money. Not in a voluntary basis, but on a coercive basis through taxation. And I believe we need to help people, but we do that help through private charitable organizations, through churches, specifically through the family. We've been tearing up the family for 50, 60 years. And now suddenly, after we've done severe damage to the family, now all of a sudden everybody thinks that the government needs to become the husband, the father, the brother, the sister, the caretaker. And as last resort, I agree there's people that need government help, but not as a first resort.
So it certainly sounds like you agree with Kevin Smith of Cornerstone, who said private institutions, private individuals have to do more.
Absolutely.
Should be doing more.
Absolutely.
Well, Warren, I want to say thank you very much for taking a few minutes with GraniteGrok. I know that the vote is coming up pretty soon. I don't want to make you late for that. So, thank you very much.
Yes, it's an important vote. I don't want to miss it.
All right, take care.
Thank you.